If you're a business owner and you're not using AI to call your past customers, you're potentially leaving deals and dollars on the table. Every past customer could be worth an additional $500 or even $1,000 in additional revenue. And that, of course, if you call them and pitch the right offer. By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to start monetizing your lead database. And with that said, let's jump into the video. But before that, a word of caution. This is meant for leads that your business has already interacted with in the past. So this is not made for cold calling people who you've never really interacted with. Also because the AI really needs a repeatable format that it's able to, script through. So if you're going to call people who you've never interacted with, you're most likely going to go through gatekeepers and also legal issues. Of course, I'm not a legal practitioner, but this is a word of caution that this is specifically for people who you have interacted with in the past. And every geography has different regulations, so it's really important to check if you're in the US for the HIPAA compliance or in the EU for GDPR. Just wanted to note this quickly. Let me walk you through the specifics before we, get it running. And by the way, everything will be provided down in the description, so you're able to download this template and also the prompt that I'm using in Vapi. And for the tools that we're using today is specifically N8N. And then we will be using Vapi to create the voice agent and Google Sheet as like a CRM. Now, we can just quickly glance over the specific sections of the flow, because here you can see it clearly. We have a pre-call part where we're basically preparing the agent with all the information that it needs to have. And essentially what we're doing is we're going through the database CRM. In this case, I just made an example one. But for example, we can add like another 10 rows. I put more information. Maybe let's do it like 2, 3, and then copy these to give the idea. And I'll just repeat my name. But you, of course, would put, or you would have your specific CRM. So for example, it might be Go High Level, or you might be, to be specific on one client that we're working now, a HVAC company, and you have Service Titan, if you're home for a service business, and you get the data from Service Titan or from Go High Level, or in this case, just for this example, we have Google Sheets, and you have all the people. So this might be Max, that might be Alex, so, so on and so forth. And here you have their phone number. I'm trying to hide it so my phone number doesn't get leaked. But yeah, so this is the situation. And for this example, I'm just going to call myself for this, but you get the idea. So you have the entire list of people that we're going to get now. So if I now run, or at least stop it here so it doesn't trigger the rest, you will see, so let's execute here. You'll see that we're getting, should be 11 items exactly. So these are the people that we're preparing to call. Awesome. So now, once we get the people that we want to call, of course, it will be, like a chunky number. What we want to do is to loop through every person one by one. And what that means is that we will, start with the first call in this case. And we have here a node to just prepare the fields. So we will go through this exactly later, but we're pretty much putting the number of the person. We're preparing the name and the ID, like an identifier for the lead. In this case, we just numbered it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you will probably have a more sophisticated ID, because then it helps us to use later for tracking the outcome. And then we will later also populate the assistant ID and the agent ID. Anyways. Cool. So we prepare the call, and then we make an API call to Vapi to, make the call. And what we're doing here essentially is we're putting the JSON data structure. So we put all the information that Vapi needs for us to prepare and make the call through the API. And now, once the call is done, so one call, let's say, has been actually not done, but initiated, because there is a difference here. So once the call has been sent, it might go through, let's say, like 2 or 3 minutes in between. What I like to do is add a wait node, which will just like wait before we loop once again to the next person. So I can show you here, for example, if we wait for 10 seconds, that it will just loop through the next person. So in this case, I'm the first person, and then the second will be Max, and the third would be Alex. So we just let it wait a little bit because VAPI has a concurrency of 10 calls. That means that we are not able at one single moment to call, more than 10 people, because then we max on the concurrency limit. You can, of course, purchase more concurrency if you need to, but that is good to know. So what I really like to do is perhaps put minutes. I don't know, I would put maybe 2 minutes between every call has been initiated. It really depends also on the size of your lead list. I mean, if in this case you have 50 people, you can be comfortable and put 2 people, 2 minutes, or 1 minute even, or less really, because the concurrency is 10. You can figure out your number, but for example purposes, I'll just put 10 seconds so you can see that this is really calling on and on. So yeah, actually let's execute it, and I have my phone number right here. So we will be receiving a phone call soon. Now we initiate, we get the leads, and now we should get here we go. So you get a phone number, a phone call. I'll just accept it and decline it, because then we will get the next one. We're just waiting for the 10 seconds to happen. And here we go. I get the second one already. So you can see that it's looping through, and you can see that the second item has been already initiated. And I'll decline this one as well, and then boom, we will get the third one probably now. Yeah, okay, you get the idea. Awesome. Let's cancel and close. Yeah, cool. So you can see that this is working. So we are preparing, and then we start the call. Now, awesome. Of course, now these calls were empty. We didn't really talk. But now let's run through an example where, I am going to receive the call and answer it. Okay, I'm getting the voice notes. Hey, you're not answering. Awesome. So let's set it up step by step. And what I did here is I actually canceled, let's say this connection, so it doesn't keep on calling, and the loop actually doesn't really work because we disconnected it. Anyways, what I'll be doing now is remove, it's already I just removed it, all the assistant ID and agent phone number ID, because now we will need to build the agent in VAPI. And yeah, so let's get that going. Let's go to VAPI, and please create your account if you haven't yet. I do have a link in the description, which will give you some credits, so feel free to grab that. And yeah, so let's create the assistant. And what I do is that I have this prompt that I do provide also in the description below in the resources. And yeah, we can just use it as an example for now. I won't go too deep on how to, use the prompt. But what you can do, 1 second. So here, yeah. So what you can do is just copy paste this into the system prompt here, and we will go briefly through it. But first, let's set that the assistant is, so the user speaks first, because that's really good practice when it comes to the outbound calls. And what I like to go for is actually 4.1, because it is, let's say, quite similar to 4.0 in the end, but it's better at being more precise when it comes to adhering to the prompt. Lovely. So let's scroll down. When it comes to the max tokens, I like to go for 128 to, let's say, not let it consume too many tokens, and temperature 0.4. Voice configuration, I really like LML Labs, specifically the Jessica voice. I'm speaking through it, so you can, pause and go slower, but just so we get through it. And then 11 Flash V2 is the fastest here, so let's hit publish. Yeah, I wouldn't touch the stuff here. In transcriber, given that we're talking in English, I would go for Nova 3, because it's quite good. And I would enable background denoising. So, when someone is speaking, it's not really, capturing every noise that is coming in there. Now, when it comes to the functions, I want to enable the end call function. So, when the user wants to end the call, it does. The agent ends the call, it does it. And then what is essential is going all the way down and go into messaging. And when it comes to client and server messages, so we really don't need any client messages. So we will just I selected everything and removed everything. When it comes to the here. So let's select it and deselect it. We really only need the end of call report because in the server messages, because that will give us all the information that we need in order to do the post call report. So we will see that in a second. But now what we need is a server URL, the webhook, which we can find here specifically. And what this does is that after the call is ended, we will take the entire, let's say, end of call report, and then we will send it to this webhook, in which what will happen is that we will analyze how the call went. Like, was the person interested in an offer? Was the person, not interested? Hey, can you take some notes? So that sort of stuff, it will be transferred into the webhook. And then we will have an LLM, like going through the transcript. So we give it, as you can see here, the transcript of the call, and you will be able, like the agent will be able to tell us how it went. So really what we're looking for is the call outcome. And then was the person interested, not interested, they didn't answer, voicemail, or the call is rejected. Yeah, so that is it pretty much. And then what happens is that based on the outcome that we get, we will send the information to the end of call report. So you can see here, if we go here and go to post call, here is the situation. I was just like playing around before, but let's cancel these because we didn't answer. If you remember, you were keeping them calling and so on. Okay, so I would say, so then let's copy the production URL. Let's be really careful here. You need to copy the production URL for it to work. So copy this one. And set it to post. If you haven't done that yet, give it a name and you're good to go. And do not forget to set this little inactive here to active. I had it active, just enabled it and disabled it and enabled it to show you. Awesome. So let's put here and let's hit publish. And then now we are set to the, let's say, the critical parts where we're trying to get the ID of the agent, the ID of the phone number. So we need to set up a phone number and also the API keys. Let's start with the most important one, and that's the API keys. So let's go to the API keys section. What I want you to do is to copy this API key. And then what you do, I have done it already. You go into the make call here, and then you click on bearer auth. So I think it's a basic auth. And then, you just click create new credential. Sorry, it's a bearer auth. Yeah, you just put here your token, and then maybe you rename it, and then you save it. So that is what you need to do. Awesome. So once that is done, what we need to do now is to go into the phone number section, and we can use, of course, like we can take the Twilio phone numbers or any of the providers here, Vonage, Telnix. But in this case, I'm just going to go for a free VAPI phone number so you get a taste of it. Maybe let's try like 601. You just try with an area code. And if it doesn't work, oh, it did work. Okay, awesome. You just try with that. And if it doesn't work, it will tell you, hey, like here are some available. You just copy the ones that are available and then you put it there. And you're good to go. Awesome. So now what we do need here from here is this ID here. So please copy this because this is going to tell us which number we are referring to when we want to call from. And what you do is go in the prepare call and you will see agent phone number ID. That is our boy. We put it there and we just place it there. Let's just save. And we also need, as you can see here, the assistant ID. So let's go grab that. So let's go back to VAPI. We go into the assistants, and you can see here there is a little copy. It actually looks like a duplicate icon, but it's like copy assistant ID. So let's just copy that. Awesome. And let's copy paste it here, save, and we should be good to go actually. Now, before we do a demo of this, we need to wait for that, I think 1.5 minutes. Yeah, 1 minute to go before we can initiate the call. So actually let's make so here in this example, it's a prompt that we are going, it's a roofing company. It's called Green Valley Landscaping, and we're calling people so that we want to see if they're interested in our spring cleanup offer, which is priced at $2.99. So we will be calling people about that. I will receive a call shortly once we initiate it. And I will get the chance to say, yes, I'm interested. No, I'm not interested. We will say yes. And once we say yes, it will, should tell us pretty much that a agent is going to call us back to set the details of the appointment. Yeah, you can go through the prompt, and what I do recommend you, if you want to use it for your specific situation, is just take this as a blueprint and then adapt it for your own, let's say, scenario, or just modify it slightly so you can get out of it what you need. You will see that there is a lot of examples. I like to, use examples so the agent has something to refer to, so it's not, just inventing things out on its own. You can follow, let's say, these examples, or at least tell the agent to follow these examples so that it will not just do stuff that you wouldn't expect. Great. So now we hit it published, and yeah. All right. So let's test it. Now we should be getting a call. Here we go. Let's put the speaker. Hello, hello.
Hi, Maud. Sarah from Green Valley Landscaping. We've worked on your property before, and I'm calling about our spring cleanup package. It's $2.99 and includes complete yard prep for the season. Are you interested in getting scheduled?
Yeah, sure. I'm sold.
Perfect. That's our comprehensive spring cleanup for $2.99, which covers leaf cleanup, bed preparation, basic pruning, and lawn assessment. I'll have our scheduling team call you back within 24 hours to set up your service date. What's the best number to reach you?
This phone number.
Great. We have 25125.
Yeah, awesome. So you saw it pitched me the offer, and then it just made a note so that I'm going to be scheduled with the assistant. Now, what I'm curious to see is, now, of course, we made the call. So let's see if it was able to catch what we just did. Yeah, so we can see here that the preparation and the call have been initiated, and also we can see from the execution that another execution has been made beyond the one that prepared to initiate the call, and that after the call has been made, we are receiving, at least it should be like that. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. We are receiving, like, the webhook is getting the end of call report that we set earlier in VAPI. Specifically, well, I didn't have to, but privacy, no, here, messaging. Yeah, here we go. So as you can see here, the server settings, the server URL, you can see here the end of call report. We're sending it specifically there, and we're receiving it here. And then we have the LLM analyze how the call went. As you can see, it analyzes the call, and then we append into the sheet how the information went. And as you can see here, if we go to post call, yeah, here we go. So you have the ID Mo. So that was me specifically. I mean, the next person, if we continued the loop, would have been Max. Yeah. Oh, it tells also my phone number. I should have hidden that. Anyways, I'm gonna change it. And then it shows us if the call was picked up. Yes, in this case it was. If it wasn't, I mean, it would be unchecked. And then customer ended call. That means that we have ended the call. As you remember, we just clicked, we canceled it, and then we are interested. So we get notified here whether the person is interested or not. And as you can see, now you can outbound call your specific database of people who you have interacted with in the past. Of course, we do recommend to use it that way and not to use it for outbound call, because then you might go into a shitty territory of legality. So I would not use it specifically for outbound cold, because you do not know who these people are. There might be situations that the AI might not be able to catch, because it's really working well when it comes to scripted conversations with specific with a specific script. Now, if you want to see if this system could actually fit in your own business, or voice AI technology, if there are any use cases or benefits for your own business, then I remind you that I offer these 5 free consultation slots. You can pick yours through the first link in the description. And now, if you want to see a specific example of how this or a similar system worked for a business, then I do invite you to watch this video right here, where we break down how this actually made more than $30,000 for one of our clients. With that said, I thank you so much, and I see you in that video.